And joining me now is Lalith Subramanian, VP of Products for Security, Discovery and Analytics at OpenText. Lalith, welcome, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So first up, artificial intelligence, machine learning, there's a lot of talk about it. People are maybe struggling to get to grips with it. How do businesses make their first steps?
I think it's an interesting one. I think when everyone hears the noise, there are many ways that you could look at the answer. I always tell people, start with the data. Because my son asked me recently, how is it that your app knows, your phone knows where your home is? And I tell him, well, they track all the data, where I park overnight, which is the most frequent place I drive to for work, etc., and they find out who I am. So in a way, that's a sort of artificial intelligence that works. It finds the data and gets a new insight as to me and what my challenge might be in finding a way to a place. Right? So you start with the data. That's what I'd say to anyone, any company starting in this area. And to do that, you've got to be digital first. So I'd say focus on getting your business processes and everything operationally digitized, and then start gathering as much data as you can. Even if there are things that you don't think are important today, start there to get AI in place for you.
And not every artificial intelligence project works. It's quite difficult to do. What would you identify as the kind of critical success factors?
Sure. Again, with artificial intelligence, I think it's tempting to say that it's a new problem, or it's something that I've never seen before, the question that I need answered. It's never that. For an enterprise, their business is stable and the problems are still the same. So it comes down to, again, gathering data that's pertinent particularly to their use case and their operations. Start there first. Making sure you have the data is the critical success factor. The second thing is having someone who is able to bridge knowledge of that domain and the business problem with the data. So someone who understands it. It's in today's AI world, we call it the data scientist, who's able to bridge from the data to the business. Having that person in place is very, very critical. And the third thing is the software that is the platform which can marry this and start drawing insights for the person who is actually looking for the insights.
And in terms of real-world examples, I mean, what kind of cool use cases have you seen out there?
Cool use cases. I think the coolest one that I heard about was an airport in Malaysia that I visited who's trying to improve their operations. Now, traditionally, there are many ways you could improve your operations and improve customer sat. One thing would be to give everyone an app saying, rate your experience. You could have a green, red, yellow button to press. But none of us really does that. So what this airport decided to do was to start gathering every kind of information possible. Video streams of who's queued up for a train or a toilet, to how late the bags are in arriving on their baggage carousels, and everything in between. And then automatically tries to deduce from this volume of data what are things they can do. So for example, if there's a queue building up in front of a toilet or a train terminal, they can put up signs that say go this way or that way for faster service. So that to me is a truly insightful and innovative way to exploit artificial intelligence. The problem is no different, but the way you're solving is through actual knowledge, data, and analysis of the data.
So as you say, the information is at the heart of all that.
It's everything, it's really everything. And how well you manage it is obviously at the heart of can you get to it first.
And looking forward a bit, this is a fast-moving kind of trend. What do you see coming down the line in the next year or two?
I think more and more we're going to find that, as my kids assume, a lot of things that are AI are really taken for granted. The fact that it knows, my phone knows where I go to work, where I'm parked, and it also knows what are the most frequent shops that I go to and all of that. Those experiences are going to be taken for granted. Similarly, in the enterprises, more and more business processes will become automated by AI. I think that's for sure. The challenge, the larger sort of a philosophical challenge for everyone is, what do you do when AI makes a mistake and how do you stay on top of it, right? So if a car decides that the driver of the car has to be safer than the pedestrian and runs over the pedestrian, is that the right thing to do from an AI perspective? So having an enterprise always think about what's the feedback loop I have for what AI finds as insights, and how do I draw that back into refining my model, so to speak. That is going to be one of the more interesting challenges. Same thing with things like how language changes, right? Today you use acronyms, you use emojis, you use all kinds of short expressions. none of which would have been known to an analysis system in days before. And so challenges like that to me are fascinating to take account of in AI.
Lalith, that was absolutely fascinating. Thanks for your insights and thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.